So the new modern golf swing is just the old golf swing. Let's look at this. So you can see on the left, Sam Snead. On the right, Dustin Johnson. Look at their body movements. Look at the shaft angle going through the shot. Look how open they're getting in that impact position. So this is where those golf swings from back in the day were very, very similar to how things are taught now when it comes to rotation, shallowing the golf club, and how to really use your body to create some power. They did it back then, and we've got a hell of a lot to learn from them, and that's what we're going to learn from this video. How can we copy and get close to someone like Sam Snead, which will get us looking a little bit like Dustin Johnson too? So the first thing in these two downswing sequences that really stands out to me is the shallowing in transition. So how that center of mass of the golf club starts to pitch behind as they move down the downswing. Now, that can be done in many different ways, as there's a video I put out last week about shallowing the golf club, different methods to do it. And we can see both players do it through a very different way. Sam Snead has a much more natural where he uses his pivot to really force that shaft to shallow, a little bit of forearm roll, pronation, right arm, elbow getting in front, which really helps that club to shallow. We can see Dustin Johnson does, again, a lot of it from his pivot, how he transitions, but a lot of it is his left wrist flexion, of course. He's very famous for having that crazy bow in the left wrist. You can get shallowing into your golf swing through any type of way, but it's got to match your golf swing for sure. A lot of you won't be able to make that massive bow that Dustin Johnson has work, but that is crucial for them there to start to do what they're going from there, and that is their rotation they have. Why shallowing the golf club is so good for us is because it enables us to be able to turn and functionally deliver good angles and good conditions to that golf ball to be able to hit good golf shots. Why a lot of you struggle with rotating and having it actually help your golf game because you have a steep shaft, and then when you rotate with that, you're going to hit down to the core of the earth. So for them, they have that nice shallow shaft, which helps them rotate. A lot of you, when you say you can't rotate, again, it's because your golf swing is not in a place to be able to do it. Most likely, steep shaft. So, okay, they've got that shallow in there. We can see also a good rotation, but what else? Great left side extension, as we can see both of them there. At impact, they're very posted up on their lead side. You can see their left leg straight from that down the line view. Really, really important to have that left leg start to extend, especially for amateur golfers, because that creates power. That really gets the force that they put into the ground come back out again. Imagine someone jumping there, putting their force into the ground, it's coming back out again. Very, very similar thing happening there. So really important for power. And they're both hitting drivers here. Very different types of drivers, absolutely. But that's helping them also hit up on the golf ball. The more the left side extends, the more the left shoulder goes up and around, the more it opens up your pelvis too. Absolutely crazy. So it helps all those factors there. That's why left side extension is something I teach so much, because it helps last a little bit of rotation, helps spike some power at the ground, helps you hit up on driver too. So let's get to a drill here, which is going to help you with that. So this drill is going to touch on those last two little bits that we're seeing there with their rotation and their posting up of that left leg, the snapping, the extension of the lead leg. The shallowing, very many different ways to do it. So that's why I would urge you to watch the video I put out last week about shallowing, because if I had it here, you'd be watching quite a long video because there's a lot of different ways to do it. So let's talk about the rotation and that lead leg snapping. This is the best drill, guys, to do for this, the best one. So grab a club, put the club underneath your trail heel. You'll probably recognize this from last week as well. So put it under your trail heel. Now, as you can see, this club is touching my left calf. What I want to do, as soon as I'm starting that downswing, there's going to be a little gap that's been created from my backswing, and I want to feel like I am hitting my left leg is hitting that shaft as soon as I can in the downswing. Because the downswing will be a little bit of a delayed effect, we want to feel like we're hitting it to start the downswing, the left leg, but in reality, we'd actually be hitting that shaft behind our left leg, really at around impact, maybe just a little bit before. But our left leg is going to be gradually straightening, of course, to be able to get there, which, as you can see, what's that doing to me? That's rotating my hips, it's extending my left side. So, okay, we can do this with irons as well, absolutely. But it'd be a great one to get yourself to post up on that left side a little bit more. So, okay, let's get this in there, and we'll look a lot like both of them when we're at impact. Obviously, I'd wish I was, but this will get you close. So as we could see there from my swing, it got me a lot more open. And of course, with enough repetitions of that, then I could go and replicate that same feel. And again, I'll be getting way more open. But again, shaft has to be shallow to be able to do that. Don't try to do this with a steep shaft, otherwise you're gonna have a real bad time. Again, that video from last week would be a great one to watch for that. Really good drills in there to be able to implement for your swing. But other than that, this is a real good thing to be practicing for your golf swing. And just before we end this here, guys, this is there's some massive misconceptions when it comes to this golf swing. How you have to be very athletic to be able to do so. Sam Snead was certainly athletic back in the day, and Dustin Johnson, of course, is the epitome of athleticism in modern golf. But we don't have to get to that same degree of being open. We can't all get to that same degree. Again, like I've said in many videos recently, I'm disabled, I have cerebral palsy. I should be the last person to be able to get open at impact. But again, because we just train the movement, you're gonna get there. Got the things in the golf swing to be able to encourage rotation, then it's all about training. I feel a lot of the guys who, unless absolutely there is definitely something that stops you from being able to do it physically and mobility wise, absolutely may be the case, but I feel like a lot of people who say they can't do this is because they either don't have their golf swing in a place to be able to do it, but unknowingly so, or just haven't done enough of the drills. It takes a long time to get this into the golf swing. It doesn't take a couple of weeks, it takes months and months, years and years to be able to do it, and it incrementally gets better as you go. It's not like you're gonna be only shooting the scores you want to shoot after you get this into your golf swing. Absolutely not. You're going to be continuing to improve, which is why it's a good thing to do. Worked for Sam Snead, works for Dustin Johnson, works for pretty much most of the tour guys out there, and it's not just for those elite. Everyone can do it, of course, to different degrees, but every little bit of doing this will help massively. So, if you enjoyed this video, click that like button if you want more golf instruction, just like this. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button too, to be notified every time I put out a video. So, old school swing is exactly how they do it in the new school way.